Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today we're looking at Alterna Comics Wulf and Batsy number 7. Look at that, $1.98. Guys, this is brand new. Look at that, 2023 Brian Bow. Oh my God, I get excited every time I see that. First off, there's a lot to get excited about. First and foremost, I've met Brian Bow. Well, if talking online can be considered meeting, he was one of the first people. I think he was the first person I've ever had a live chat with. So I'm very loyal, and I'm very thankful for Brian Bow. So I reached out and contacted him after reading this, and he said, yeah, because I'm jumping all over the place, but I had a lot of coffee. My normal policy is I only show a few pages of new comics because I don't feel it's right to show off the entire comic. I'm not a pirate website. And so I asked him, could I do it? I'm going to show a couple pages. And he said, jump around a bit because, you know, there's a build-up and he wanted to show the action. So if I only show the first 5 pages, it's just build-up. So I'm going to do this kind of in an unusual format. I'm going to jump around a bit because I talked to Brian and that's what he wants me to do. So that's full disclosure. Second off, I love Alterna Comics. I've met Samedi, the owner and publisher and head guru and cryptid consultant for Alterna Comics. He's also been on my channel. He's a straightforward, great guy, hardworking, very intimidating, intense creator of comics. He has his own comic called King Cryptid. And the other day I did a Horace H. Hoover, which is another Alterna. So I might as well just blurt it out. I'm an Alterna fanboy. I love the company. Right now, they're putting out the comics that I look forward to the most. I love this company. I love the characters. I love the comics. I love the printing, and I like the guys. Fabrizio Aiello is one of the greatest guys I've ever met. I really enjoy speaking with him. Brian Bow. At the risk of sounding insane, I talk to Brian Bow almost every day. We send messages back and forth. He is a great guy. So consider the source. I really like, but the reason why I reached out to these people was because I like the comics. Okay, so there you go. What is this comic about? Well, it's about it's about me coughing. It's about Wulf and Batsy. Wulf is a werewolf, Batsy is a vampire, and they're the unlikely friends looking for a place to call home. But when you're monsters and you feast on human flesh and you drink on human blood, it's kind of hard to settle in, right? We could all agree about that. And look at that glorious corner box. So this is a standalone story, and I don't really want to show the whole comic, and I just don't feel that's fair. I like the color. Brian Bow, his artwork is getting better and better and better. Granted, issue number 1 was, he drew it 20 years ago, and this is brand, so you could just see the evolution. Just great. Something about the line work on this cover. I could look at this a lot. I could really look at it. Plus, it's just so cool to see Wulf and Batsy in color. Why did I say that? Because the comic is in black and white. Classic black and white horror comics, you know? Brian Bow is a horror fanatic. He's a horror movie maniac, you know? He's a walking encyclopedia. I tried to stump him. I said, you ever see this movie? And not only did he say, yes, I saw it, he told me who the special effects guys were and what other movies they make. I was like, there you go. I'll be quiet from now on. Let's look at the indie show. So Wulf and Batsy, number 7, 2003, published by Alterna Comics. So the Gorilla Suit Maniac. All right, look at that splash page. Look at the line work on that. That is awesome. That is just awesome. I really like this eye over here. You know, you could just tell it's a costume, but it works on so many levels. It almost looks like a droopy, lazy eye, kind of conveying menace, but also it's part of the mess. I don't know, really good. I really like it. Sorry, this was drawn in 2021. So again, forgive me, I'm going to jump around. So we got Wulf and Batsy. They're going to a Frankenstein Dracula double feature, and there's a guy juggling out here, and they're going to check out the movies. And poor Wulf, I don't know, part of me wants to smack him, but it's not a good idea to smack a guy who could turn into a werewolf. Batsy is just shamelessly flirting with him, and I don't know, is he, you know, does he consider her a friend, or is he stupid, or is he playing along with it? You know, she's like, I'm gonna put my legs up on your lap, and then, you know, you're gonna, you know, and you put your hand on my lap, and we'll pretend, you know. And he's like, I don't know, and here we go into the movie. So I'm gonna skip a couple of pages, just because I don't feel comfortable showing all the I gotta show this page. I don't feel comfortable showing all the pages of a new comic. I did show all of Horace H. Hoover, and Fabrizio said, yeah, show the whole thing. He was cool with that. So, this guy is just talking about how he went to Hollywood to become a gorilla suit actor. He was a naive guy. He just went to Hollywood. He bought a fake gorilla suit and he auditioned. And basically, they were like, "Who is this guy?" You know, like you just jumping around, act like an idiot in a gorilla costume, and he didn't get hired. But they're talking about the greatest gorilla movies all. Look at that, King Kong versus Dinosaur. That is just an awesome drawing. I just wanted to show that. So here he is buying the suit, and they're talking about the Tarzan movie, the second Tarzan. And you know what's funny? As I had just seen this Tarzan movie, maybe a year and a half ago, like right before maybe it was longer. Time's funny, but I just saw this movie right before I met Brian Bow and everything like that. And I remember seeing, I was like shocked because there was a nude scene in it, you know, and that's something I didn't know about Hollywood, is that pre-code they would have like full nude actresses, and then after the code they stopped all that stuff. So the second Tarzan movie actually had this woman swimming around naked for a while. Go figure. I mean, it's not like close-ups or anything, but you could tell. And you know, they needed a bunch of actors to pretend to be gorillas in this movie. So this guy got a bit part, and he wasn't even named. So he was carrying around, look, I was in the second Tarzan movie. Nobody blamed him because they didn't credit the gorilla suit guys. And he's just like, that was the end of my career. So they tell him, you know, look at that guy in the street. Go dress up as a gorilla and entertain people in the street. Good old Batsy. You know, she means well, but it never works out well. And he's just like, a little bit more realistic. It's like, it's none of our business. Let's just stay away. You know, poor guy. It's none of our business. And she wants to help him, but it just seems like whenever she helps, she causes the problems to get worse. So he's like, yeah, go be a gorilla suit actor. So, you know, he's like, all right, yeah. So he's going to go home. And again, I'm going to skip a couple of pages. He's going to act like a gorilla in the street. And they're just laughing at him. They're just laughing at him, you know, people in the street. So he goes nuts. Just look at that. Takes an axe and just... They say like he goes insane and his insanity fuels his strength. Look at that. Look at that. That's a panel. Okay. And I'm going to stop here. I'm just going to stop at the next page. They're like, she's like, oh no. And he's just like, wait a minute. It's like, I knew. Look at him. Just killing people. This poor gorilla. Crazy guy. You're sympathetic for him, but not to the point where you could kill people. That's not a real, that's Ori Clayford. And this is the last page I'm going to show. Look at that. So, look at that panel. That's a panel. That's a comic book panel. All right. And we will go to Captain Bloodclot's famous novelties. You know, I keep asking if Brian's in any trouble, and he never responds, but he starts blinking a lot. He starts blinking a lot. And but Captain Bloodclot is this, I don't know, this low-life guy that just forces Brian to sell these horrible products. You know, a monkey's paw, make a wish, become a heroic poacher, get films of Ori the Giant, sea gorillas. I didn't even know sea gorillas existed. I always heard about a pet monkey, may or may not come dead, you know, and Brian just has to poke. I don't know what Captain Bloodclot has on Brian. If anybody knows, you know, let's call the FBI. This looks interesting. I like these ads. This is how through alternatives, how I found out about Toxic Comics and Tonic Mole and Saving the World, another comic that I absolutely love. So, again, I only showed a few pages, but I don't feel it's right for me to show off the entire comic. It's only $2. You could go to alternativecomics.com and buy it. Get it shipped to you. You know, shipping's going to be a couple of dollars. So buy Horace H. Hoover. You can get issue 1 and get issue 2. Buy 1 to 6 of Wulf and Batsy. They're $2 a piece. You know, it's great fun. Brian's a great guy. That shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter. But I just like the guy, so I want him to make a couple of bucks. I want him to sell 100,000 copies a month of Wulf and Batsy. Help Pete out. Help Brian out. You know, I want to get this comic every month. You know, I don't know. What else can I say? The comic industry is really weird these days, and it's like a golden age. There's so much good stuff going out, but it's hard to get the word out. And you know, I'm a fanboy in any way I can help. I make no bones about that. So there you go. I just wanted to say a few things. My coworker Lucas, he went on a fishing trip to Alaska. Now, Lucas could be a storyteller. So he said while he was in Alaska, he was on a fishing trip, and he said there's a lot of downtime. So he spent time like just, chewing the fat with other people on the ship. And he says one of the guys started mentioning that he was into comic books and board games. And he was like, oh, my partner, my buddy at work, John, he does that. Not only that, but he has a YouTube channel called John's Long Box. And the guy said, oh, I watched that show. I watched that. I've seen that before. Okay, so first off, is this true? Because Lucas could be a little bit of a storyteller. Second off, if you are he said that that guy lived in Pennsylvania. If you are the person who met Lucas in Alaska, send me a message. That would be so cool. That would be so cool if this is true. I would love to hear your side of the story. I don't know. Whatever. And second off, like Pete Rock, one of the subscribers, he's this guy Pete that used to live near me. He moved to Arizona, but we still talk a lot. A buddy of mine, he said that he wanted to talk about comics and music, because on Mondays I do Monday music. So that gave me an idea. If anybody who's a viewer, if you want to send me like a 30-second, minute, up to a minute video of the comics that you're reading this week, just put them on a stack. I'm reading this because I like this. I'm reading this. Send it to me. Email it to me at johnslongbox@yahoo.com. And I'm going to watch it first. Make sure there's nothing that's going to get me in trouble. I'll watch it. And, and that's it. As long as there's nothing that gets me in trouble, I'll post it as supplementals, and then I'll make a playlist called What You're Reading. And same thing with music. But the music ones I'll only post on Mondays, because Monday is going to be Monday music. And I think going forward, Monday's video is only going to be music. I'm not going to make 2 videos. I'll just do Monday music and then comic books, 6 days a week, and music will be Monday. All right. So let me know. This is open to anybody, and if you want to come on my channel and talk on Wednesdays, I mean, I'm booked until almost the end of September, but I got some great guests lined up, but I'm not a star chaser. I'm not a star effer. If you want to talk about comics, tell me why you want to talk about. Tell me what you want to talk about, and if it sounds cool, I'll schedule you. Why not? It's about talking about comic books. It's not me chasing after famous people. I want to talk about comic books with people that love comic books. So there you go. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.